Regarding the north of Italy, what is particular is the type of variety that we have. We have some international wine, but mostly indigenous variety. In particular, where I'm from, Veneto, so northeast of Italy, we have Prosecco that you only get there. We have the wine from Valpolicella and some other very niche type of wine. So what is particular is the kind of soil, the climate also we have. It's very, very different, even from 20 to 40 kilometers. It just totally changes. Okay, regarding Venice, it was not my choice. It's 100 years that my family has a winery there, so that is something that I inherited. For Valpolicella, it's investments that we did in the last 10 to 5 years, and the reason why we choose to invest in Valpolicella and to grow wine there was because we believe that for red wines it actually has the best terroir that you can find in Italy. And they give a very, very good wine with some particular aroma that you don't find nowhere else in the world. Especially doing the passimento for the Amarone is a technique that we only have over there. What is special about us is the way that we try to make our wines. So for the red wines, for example, we don't want it to taste, we use wood, but we don't want it to taste too much of the oak. All our wineries, all our estates are organic. We do not purchase grape. We have 120 hectares in property, so we only use our product, so we know how to work it. Each vintage, of course, is going to be different, but anyway, we know what our soils can give the best of us. The estates that we have in Venice has 600 years. We keep the same structure that they created the Benedict monks, and more or less in each estate 50% is not productive, so we keep it for biodiversity and wildlife. It's more like a natural reserve, more or less. So in Venice we are into two different appellations. One is the Prosecco DOC, the other one is Venice DOC. Then north of it we also have an estate in Valdobbiadene that is in Treviso province, and that is a DOCG Prosecco. And then the red wines we produce north of Verona and Valpolicella, and that is the Valpolicella DOC area. Each of them has a different regulation. They are very different appellations. One are for reds, the other one are for whites and sparklings. What we do, like Amarone, one of the law that the appellation put is that you can release the product in the market after 2.5 years. We actually do it after 5 years. That's our choice. For Prosecco as well, by law, you are allowed to release it after 3 weeks of the second fermentation. We do it much slower, we do 6 weeks, to have a very small and thin appellation. So the regulation of organic wine in our country is the same that you have here in France, so there is no difference in the European one. Actually, the Italian rules were made by my grandfather in the 80s, so he was one of the pioneers. We converted in 1974 to organic, so it's 41 years that we have been following the organic rules. And actually in our wineries we don't follow only the European law, but because we export a lot in US and Canada, we follow the American rules that are much stricter. So the sulfite for white wine, for example, instead of being 140 milligram per liter, it must always be below 100, and we follow that rule for all our wines. What we used to have some international wine, and we actually take them out. So we used to have also Merlot and Cabernet. We are focusing more on autochthonous vine. So we're gonna see, because we just actually planted 1 hectare of a turchetta, that is a type of grape that is almost extinct and is coming back. And also in the future maybe we're gonna focus more on this kind of grape. But the most important thing is that especially in Valpolicella Classica, we just started the conversion of 10 hectares from organic to biodynamic. It's a test, we're gonna see how it works, and we're gonna see maybe in the future we're gonna convert everything to biodynamic. It's something that I was actually doing a totally different business. I was working in Asia in the industrial sector, and I decided to come back home and to take over the family business because what I like, especially the way we operate, is this attachment to our soil, to the terroir, and to be, of course, unfortunately, I'm not so much in the States because I travel, I take care of the sales mostly. But what I really like is this attachment from the vine to the wine, and then or especially about what we do that is organic, so how we treat the land and this connection between your soil and how the wine in the end come out. Dinner, I think I actually during the day I don't drink because I have to drive around, so my favorite moment is actually during a meal, so during dinner, or maybe to have a glass just after, but sometimes also I like when I arrive home to have a glass of wine before starting preparing dinner. I don't mind that. The difference, how I see it, is that all the wine that we are making, more or less, the only international wine that we make is Chardonnay. Everything else is some type of variety of grape that we only have in our region, so that's our main region. So we are focused on grape that you can find only in the Veneto region. Okay, of course we are happy that we are working in France, because for Italy, for Italian winemakers is a good achievement. People here have very high knowledge, standard, like almost everybody knows something about wine. It's something that abroad you don't find, so that's really a great thing about this country. What is our main goal, and we are really focusing, is that we don't only do an organic wine on paper, but all our estates are really natural reserve. This, I think, is the most important thing. Like when you do wine, you should treat the vine properly, and if you treat them well, they're gonna give you back a great grape, and with that grape you're gonna make a great wine.